Okie dokie. It is Tuesday, April 7th, and I'm just gonna come clean. And it's so funny that one of the themes this week is about shame. And I'm just gonna come clean and basically say that I'm starting week 3 all over, and I'm just going to be honest with my future self about the fact that, or with my present self, whatever, I don't know. I didn't do my morning pages the whole last week, and there's already like so much conviction in saying that you didn't do this, what you're supposed to do. I had a really hard week, a hard 2 weeks actually, but last week was like really rough, and I understand why I didn't get up and do my pages every day. I understand that I had a challenging health week, and I slept a lot, and I wasn't getting up in the morning to do the morning pages. And by the time I was getting up, it was like way late in the afternoon. And yeah, I was kind of in a pit. I was definitely in a pit like all of last week, right after the concert in Chemnitz. I got sick, have been, had a wave, and yeah, I was just in bed like for like 4 days, and then I recognized a couple of things were coming up, like a few themes, and I definitely appreciate just my um, yeah, my resilience and saying like, okay, I didn't get it this week, but I'm just gonna start, keep moving, and just start week 3 today. So I even had like I had a whole schedule, a whole calendar for myself. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this way, and that's really so like me to have like such a regimented schedule, and everything's planned out, and I know exactly how I'm gonna do it all. And then the inner rebel comes out and is like, I'm not gonna do it this way. I don't want to do it my way, and then the system just totally breaks down. So that's definitely what happened in the last week. But I wrote um, last Sunday, so today's Tuesday, and I wrote on Sunday. It was just Easter weekend, so um, I have so much to say, and I'm really glad I wrote today. Holidays are hard. Being an immigrant, an expat, or whatever person who's moved away from their home country, not just hometown, but home country, home continent. Um, Easter was particularly hard for me because exactly 1 year ago, I chose to give my life to the Lord, and I had like a big week of like spiritual awakening, and like many encounters with God, with Jesus, and was just like in a totally different place last year, and was like all hot on salvation. And this year, I'm even shaming myself a little bit because oh, I didn't really celebrate Easter. I honestly didn't do a damn thing. I read half of Corinthians 2, and I think there were some prayers in there. There was definitely some conversation in there, but even that is like God loves and accepts and sees me regardless of how what kind of works I'm doing. And yeah, could I have fasted? Would have been a great thing. I'm sure it would have been great to fast. Yeah, could I have prayed and read my Bible every day? Yeah, I'm sure I could have done that. It would have been a really great thing. But was I just laying on my couch and doom scrolling and eating chips? That's what I was doing. I was crying a lot. I was having a hard time. And yeah, could it have been the right thing to just like go into nature and talk to God, whatever, or wherever, or on my couch with the hand in the bag of chips, speaking to the Lord? Like that could have also been possible, but I was in such a state of avoidance, and yeah, like being really taken aback also by the darkness and the struggle. And like right after my concert, like I just slipped. And I think this is something called like I've heard someone else talk about it as like a post-concert crash or something like that. Um, and yeah, I always start a little bit strong with these. So that's where I am, and I just read chapter 3. I'm going to pick up my godson in a little bit here, so I'm going to try to keep this one at about 15 minutes. Um, these videos are not required for the artist's way, but it's my way of doing it. Like it's my way of being able to mark the different chapters, the different weeks, and just like sit down and have a check-in with myself, and put it online for a greater sense of accountability. Honestly, nobody would have known if I hadn't posted anything about me doing this, and I had just skipped the week and woke up and scribbled, oops, I forgot my pages. Oh, didn't do them again. Like, nobody would have noticed. Nobody would have known. God would have known, but nobody would have known. And so, me sharing this online publicly is like a way for me to also keep myself more accountable and just have check ins with myself. I don't know how my storage is looking, so hopefully, we're going to get it. Okay. I need to do a data. There's so much stuff I need to do. But what I really am witnessing in myself right now, especially with speaking so fast, and I'm already like, I'm just, sometimes I'm like in such a polar, oh my God. I don't know. I'm not going to start diagnosing other things with myself, but sometimes I really have this like these polar opposites. And I really have like this fast, like ambitious, okay, I gotta get all this stuff done. And then I have this like, whew, I'm not gonna get anything done today. And I'm noticing in myself, like this is the first day that I feel good or better in like a week, maybe 2 weeks actually. And this is like the first good day that I'm having, and I'm like, I gotta do everything. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm taking it slow on myself, but I definitely wanted to come to this conversation with myself with more specific topics. And after reading the chapter of week 3, which is about regaining a sense of power, I was like, oh wow, I really, really could have benefited from reading this last week, but I think I needed to have this experience of just witnessing like what it's like the dynamics of me like falling into the pit and climbing back out of it, and riding the waves. Like I have to keep witnessing this in order to understand also my cycles and how I function, and just where I'm at, where I am in this chapter of my life. And there were a few big topics this week about anger, synchronicity, shame, critique, and growth, moving with criticism and growth. And I wanted to read to myself, to myself and whoever else may be watching, two quotes that I took from this week that really stuck with me are the art, maga. The act of making art exposes a society to itself. In relation to shame, the act of making art exposes a society to itself. So I'm celebrating this week the release of my second single. So Seasons was the first, and Black Hearts, in collaboration with Lord Steph, is the second single. And I was like posting online celebrating the release, and I was in bed, like hadn't taken a shower. I was in bed, I was not feeling well, and I was just like, FML, like can this day just get any worse? Which I find so interesting, just the contrast between like how I was presenting, or how I'm presenting myself in an online space of like, yeah, the song is out now, go listen to it. And then at home, I'm like in real life, my blanket is like up to my mouth, and I'm just like, God, nobody bother me. Yeah. And why this quote stuck with me in relation to the release is that there were some parts of this song that it was strategic for this song to come out after Seasons. Seasons was all about rebirth, salvation, transformation, a new start. Black Hearts is all about like, this is the inner dialogue with myself when I'm in a dark place. And it wasn't self-shaming, but it was very much like, Find myself often sitting at the junction, the intersection, like a dormant volcano on the cusp of eruption. And the next line is, so I light up another, lift off and fade away, anything to take my mind off the gray days. Lighting up another is a reference to smoking cannabis. And this is definitely something that I even uh, thema- thema- thematize. Why am I forgetting this word? Thematize them. I make it a theme. So consumption is a big theme. Also in another song from mine, Shiver, which may or may not be on the EP. I'm still deciding. Why do I keep thinking that I don't have enough storage? Let's see. We're still good. Okay, and talking about addiction, talking about dependency. I mean, I've been like such an advocate for the legalization of cannabis while I was even in college. You can check, I was writing articles about it. And meanwhile, I noticed that it's not just about cannabis, but also sweets. Like, I'm really someone who loves to taste life. Thankfully, I've had many early experiences and a lot of early exposure. Actually, was not so thankful for that, but early exposure to a lot of things that helped me already as an early adult establish where my boundaries are, especially when it comes to substances. And um, where did I come from? Okay, so in this song, in Black Hearts, I talk about things like me struggling with depression and getting into in rage and anger and feeling like a dormant volcano. So what I do to calm myself down is I take 2 puffs and I chill out. And so I'm totally sober right now. I had some black tea, but and yeah, and I felt I was so I recognized. So this song was recorded in June last year, 8 months ago, and it just is coming out now. And shout out to Steph also for his patience, because definitely in the beginning, while we after we'd finished recording, I was like, wait, we can't put this song out. I was like, I was really holding up the process. Wow, I'm going into a rabbit hole, but I think this is just what needs to come out today. Because on the one hand, I still was figuring out like my own artist identity. How do I want to present myself? What is the direction of music that I actually want to publish? I have this hip hop, R&B. I have this folk, soul, revival. I have this gospel. So like, what is it? What is actually the package? Now I'm recognizing it doesn't have to be so fixed, and genre blending is actually part of my way as an artist. Oh my gosh, I'm losing all the points. I swear to you, I swear y'all, I'm not diagnosed, but I might have that ADHD. I might just have it, okay? Um, so I was pushing the release. I was holding off on the release not only because I needed to have like a clear established presence as an artist first, and I wanted to put out my solo project, like a song for my solo project first, but also because the content of this song um, makes me feel shame sometimes. So I'm talking about like, the hook is like, would it all be a waste then? What's your legacy? Chalk it up as a lesson. Do you really want to be free? It's like these thoughts back and forth of my mind are like, is my life worthless? Why do I keep making these mistakes? Oh, I'll just learn from them. What are going to be the lasting consequences of the things that I'm doing? Like, and Steph also, like, what he was also spitting on the track, like, this is actually a pretty hard song, and hard in all meanings of the words. And so um, there's a lot of shame. What I recognize is when I'm speaking my truth and putting out songs that are not just fluff, like, party on the weekend, I'm with my friends. Like, I don't think I'm able to make superficial. There's some good pop music out there for sure, because pop just means popular, but I can't make this superficial